Hello everyone, welcome to another Weekly Flags recap. Grab your favorite drink, this is going to be a long action-packed one. Don't flag each other, just make videos calling each other pricks, and anyone that I talk about in this video is not necessarily endorsed by me unless I say so. Okay, and to begin, I wanted to talk about my process for putting together this weekly series. I use aggregators, and the easiest way to be picked up by these aggregators would be to use the words flagged. That term, DMCA, copyright, but especially flagged, okay? If you put it in the title, the description, or the tag of your video, I'm going to find your video. And sometimes something happens that will fill that aggregator with junk, such as a NASCAR crash and all of the cars being flagged for a warning lap afterwards while they clean up the crash, or an egregious foul in football getting flagged with a penalty. But this week, the flavor of the junk mail that I was getting was immediately after the Paris terrorist attacks. People just had to jump on this and say, that's a false flag. That's the countries that are wanting to go to war just creating false situations. And it's just like this other false flag and this other false flag, and everything's a false flag, and you have to call it out everywhere you see it. So yeah, no, I don't think that it was a false flag attack, but I will link you to a bunch of people who do think so and gummed up my aggregators this week, starting with King Conspiratard himself, Alex Jones. And if you guys are of the mindset to look at things like that and argue with them, fine, go ahead. I'd rather ignore them. But in news about the context of flags that we are talking about in this weekly series, the censorship of people online, the biggest headline this week would have been Taylor Swift winning her case against Jesse Bram. And this was a copyright case, and something horrible, in my opinion, happened. The judge in the case decided to be funny in the decision, and she wrote, and I'm just going to quote her here, "At present, the court is not saying that Bram can never, ever, ever get his case back in court. But for now, we've got some problems, and the court's not sure that Bram can solve them." She also wrote, "As currently drafted, the complaint has a blank space, one that requires Bram to do more than write his name." And, yeah, she used a lot more, basically parodies of Taylor Swift's lyrics written into the judgment. And this is horrible, in my opinion, because although she's not finding in Bram's favor, imagine if you're Jesse Bram and you have put forward this claim in earnest. You believe that you had your copyright rights violated, and the judge comes back and makes a joke in the decision against you. Just put yourself in his shoes. These are things that would have been better left to the monologue on The Late Show or The Tonight Show. This is not something that I want from somebody who represents the law and justice. I want that person to always be bland and very clear. Okay, so some of you might find that funny, but I didn't. Flag of the week that we saw this week was I Hate Everything. This is a channel that gets hundreds of thousands of views for every video and makes reviews of things like the worst of the worst on the internet. Well, he got flagged for doing a movie review that was a DMCA takedown claim. In my opinion, what he did was fair use, and the DMCA claim is just somebody punitively using it because they didn't like the review that he left for the movie, and that's not the way that things are supposed to work. Moving on, in the great debate community, we have the reoccurrence of Red Smoky. This is a YouTuber that during the heyday of the fights between YouTube atheists and the Mighty Wind cult, he was prominent, and he kind of disappeared off my radar for a while, and obviously other people's, because he doesn't have a lot of subscribers on this new channel of his. He kind of laid low, and he kind of joined a different community, the guitar playing community. And he made a video where he had problems in that community too, which I think is great, that it's not just, the kind of people that would watch a video like this. It's also other communities that have problems, so it's a human problem, not just an us problem. But anyway, if you don't know who Red Smoky is, the best way to describe this would be to say that in the arena of who has lost the most channels on YouTube, Brett Keane is the top of the stack right there. I lost count at like 38 channels verified that he had. I think he's in the 50s, really. And since he started being a Christian, he has not had that problem anymore. Next would be the Mimica. And then, I haven't seen the Mimica in a while. I hope to see more from him. He was a ponage artist. And then there was Rob Lester Films, who wasn't so much a ponage artist as he was doing good work exposing a few cults that were flag happy. And Rob Lester Films had just a myriad of different channels that all had Rob Lester in the title of them. Different variations of that. And then there was Gluteus Illuminatus, Gluteus Inflammatus, Gluteus Maximus, all the different Gluteuses that he was. And then below that, you'd have Red Smoky. That was like pretty much the top 5 for lost channels back in the day. So, and I would probably, when I did this series years ago, I would probably have to talk about at least 2 of those guys every week. So glad Red Smoky's back. Link in the description box. Next, moving on to the RadFeMRA community, we've got Laughing Witch, reported to me by Kristi Winters, but it was on her video where she asked people to mirror her entire harassment series. Strangely, I don't think that she has to worry about her harassment series ever going away, because people that disagree with her are archiving her channel, even in places other than YouTube, so that they never have to worry about takedown notices. But they'll be available, but I think that Laughing Witch was calling for people to support her. I did check her channel, and harassment part 1 was missing from her channel. And she put in a video that she has been receiving more flags than that in the comments, in the description. So, moving on, we've got the gaming community, which had a lot of flags in it. Shift TV got flagged. Damian Reitz, who thinks that Treyarch flagged him. The 420 Studios Inc. Gaming got flagged. Pinksheep 123429 got flagged. And then there's this one. And when I came across this one, I knew I was on the wrong part of the internet. A user named Suck My Pokeballs got flagged for Pokemon-based video game hentai. And this is like furry porn put into the Pokemon game. Like all the characters replaced with porn characters. It's that are furry that... No. He got flagged for a reason. Okay. Moving on to more sick shit on the internet. A channel called Sophie and Ella got flagged, and there's a possible foot fetish flagger connection here, because the video that they got flagged for was they're one of these little girl challenge YouTube channels where they take challenges from their watchers, and somebody challenged them to do the escape challenge, where people tie themselves up with duct tape and then try to escape. And I can see that somebody might have a binding fetish, and that might be an escalation from just having a foot fetish. And this could be something that ends horribly, so that's why it's important for me to point this out, that something bad is happening online in a pattern. Next, there was Mistress Jewels, who has a channel devoted to BDSM. And what's interesting about her video saying that she was flagged was she treated it as if she had never seen anyone else get flagged before, ever. And I actually found that refreshing. You know, that her little BDSM community that she's a part of is pretty much virgin to flagging. Awesome. Next, we've got the legend of Sasha in one of the most epic crying meltdowns over flagging and copyright that I've ever seen. The mascara was running. Check it out if you want to see this meltdown. It is wild that she would even upload that video. Next, we've got the pro wrestling community, and 2 videos got flagged in the pro wrestling community, and they're always exciting, you know, and they always have a lot of drama in their voice because they watch pro wrestlers, and so their videos are like cutting promos, you know. So we've got LeGhetto, and we've got Vaughn Shit. Both of them just awesome energy that they bring to their videos. Next, we've got a guy named Plantaodarbs 2. It's a weird name, but he flagged 3 different people and actually filmed himself flagging these people. And I think that he might be Portuguese. Then ANTco got flagged. A guy named Jerry Basic got flagged, and I can speak as to why he got flagged, because I have a little bit of experience with this. He got flagged for copyright for a procedure known as EMDR. This is it's something that it falls under a psychotherapy category of how do I explain this best? It's eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Okay, and I've done co-facilitation of this before, but basically, what most of you are going to think about when I say this is the watch that was dangled in front of someone when they said, "You're getting very sleepy," and they were hypnotizing them. Well, eye movement desensitization therapy is based on a theory that when you move your eyes back and forth like a shifty person, like I'm doing right now, you're engaging the left and right side of the brain in a physical way. And the theory is that there's a memory caught in one part of your brain that needs to be processed by the other to fully get processed. And so it's trying to get your memories and your thoughts processed by different parts of your brain. And so you move your eyes while you are thinking about certain things and while you're talking. And this can be done with something as simple as a swinging watch, but it could also be a TV screen with a moving dot, going back and forth like Pong, and clacking balls, anything like that creates something that you can use to watch and move your eyes to follow. You could just do it by just moving your eyes, or patting yourself on different sides of your body could also work. Even though the name is eye movement desensitization and reprogramming, it doesn't necessarily have to be your eyes. It could be poking at your face on different sides. Basically, you're just trying to open up the brain to moving a memory from one side of the brain to the other. And it's an evidence-based therapy. It actually does have evidence for efficacy in it. It sounds like woo, but when something is proven to have some efficacy, then you just have to explore it further. Like, people don't understand the exact mechanism of why moving your eyes like a shifty person works. They just know that it does work. And EMDR, it falls under a class of therapies in psychotherapy that are copyrighted and patented. And in that way, just like a black belt will get degrees on his black belt, and there's like one master in that school of karate, and there will be like 5th degree black belts under him, and then 4th, and then 3rd, and in like a pyramid scheme of, you must learn from one of the masters in order to learn this thing. It's not like people can just go open up their own EMDR school and teach it. You must get your knowledge from, it goes from whatever high power you believe in to Francine Shapiro to the people that she trained to be trainers to everyone else. And this is why this copyright strike happened to him. If you give away some of the techniques to do EMDR, you are violating her patent on her techniques for psychotherapy. And so sometimes in these patented techniques for psychotherapy, you find that people protect their patents with a passion. And sometimes you find somebody, like with CBT, somebody who creates it and then wants to give it to the world because they're more interested in helping the world with like motivational interviewing or cognitive behavioral therapy. Those are widespread now because the person who invented it didn't want to necessarily protect his assets more than he wanted to help the world. So that is why Jerry Basic got his video copyright strike, because he had given away techniques that are used in EMDR. Not that you couldn't read about these things anyway and find many different discussions about it. Moving on, Ojazzy 20 got flagged, Toxic Swiller 40 got flagged, Color Me Sunny got flagged for doing a time-lapse art video drawing a anime person, and I think it might be because the anime person didn't have clothes on in the middle of drawing, like when you're just sketching out the form. Like, the female form is just so shocking to people. And I'm going to give you a link to Felfop Returns, who trolled the shit out of me by saying that I was somebody who might flag somebody's entire backlog of videos, and he actually got me shocked for the first couple seconds of watching his video, but he was just trolling me. Link to that. And lastly, the Flag Watch. This week I'm going to say DMCA Takedown pros are under Flag Watch by me because I've seen a lot of ironic justice happen on YouTube, and this DMCA Takedown pros is basically a company that they're trying to facilitate more flagging happening on YouTube. They're basically selling a service whereby if you can't yourself figure out the way to put a DMCA complaint on somebody's website or video, then you can just pay them and give them a minimal amount of information and they will do it for you. And I can see that being abused, and I can also see that them advertising for such a service on YouTube might bring them under the scrutiny of people who like irony. So, Flag Watch on them. Like I said in the beginning of the video, please stop flagging each other. Just make videos explaining why you disagree with the other person. And then call them a prick.